Grinders really are simple machines that are easy to use. But if you don't take the time to learn how to use them properly or just get careless, grinders can bite you just as fast as anything else. In this video, we're going to look at the basics of operating a grinder and doing it safely. Far too often, we've seen grinders that have had their guards removed. But we have to remember that manufacturers like Jet that made this grinder include the guards for a reason. This is my 8-inch Jet grinder, and you can see it has a heavy-duty cast iron safety guard. If something should go wrong that causes this stone wheel to start breaking up, the guard's designed to contain those pieces. I always use this grinder with the cast iron wheel guard in place. I also leave the clear upper shield in place. The upper guard lets me see what I'm doing, but protects me from the flying debris that naturally occurs when grinding. These guards are not difficult to use, and they don't make using the grinder harder. If the guards are getting in the way or making the job more difficult, there's a good chance you're using the wrong machine. And while these guards are very effective, that doesn't mean you can skip wearing eye protection. The smaller particles that could find their way to your eyes still get blown around, so wear the safety glasses as well. There are many types of tool rest designs, but all of them need to be adjusted so they're very close to the wheel to give you the most support. Whenever possible, we keep the piece being ground flat on a tool rest, and that gives us the most control. Keeping the piece flush on the tool rest lets you focus on easing the piece into the grinding wheel and doing the grinding or shaping that you need. Sometimes you have to grind in from the edge, like when cleaning up a screwdriver. In those cases, you want to use the tool rest as a fulcrum and hold the piece tight against the edge of the tool rest. Then when the piece pointed upwards against the rotation of the wheel, we can ease the flat side in and do the grinding that we need. It's important to apply light pressure and let the grinder do the work. Then we can check our progress and see if we need to reposition the tool to get the grinding effect that we want. We never want to point the piece being ground downwards or with the rotation of the wheel. To even access the wheel like that, we'd have to remove the upper guard. If anything goes wrong in this position, the piece gets sucked down between the grinding wheel and tool rest. That generates a huge instant load on the grinding wheel that can shatter it. This is exactly how the fellow that sent me the email that started this story got hurt. The guard stopped all but a couple of pieces, but that was enough to get him hurt. Without the guards, his injuries would almost certainly have been much worse. Trying to grind something on the side of a stone wheel is another good way to blow it up. These stones are not designed to have any kind of pressure applied to the sides. Having a small vibration in a grinder isn't uncommon, and I have an easy way of reducing it if not fixing it altogether. Using a marker, draw a line across the wheel at both of the tool rests. And if you don't already have the machine unplugged, you go to the back of the class. And then we want to loosen the nut on one of the wheels. You notice this side has a left-hand thread, so the rotation of the wheel tries to tighten the nut rather than loosen it. Make sure that the line on the other wheel is at the tool rest, and then lightly clamp it in place, because we don't want that wheel to turn. Now go back to the loose wheel and turn it so its line is 180 degrees out from the line on the other wheel, and then retighten the nut. Put the guards back in place and then start the machine up to see if your vibration is gone or is lessened. I found this procedure to be very helpful with small vibrations in reducing or eliminating them altogether. Grinders are very handy machines to have in any shop, and if you take the time to use them properly, they're very safe to use.